I'll tell you the story of Eddie. So Eddie goes this way. It's hard to get into our literacy center. That's free, so and we don't have unlimited resources. Arnie Duncan hasn't seen that he should send me $1 billion because I would have a literacy center in every city in the state of Connecticut, but they don't want to do things like that. But, so it's hard to get in. So one day I'm driving home from work one night, and I'm finishing my day, and I have a cell phone, and while I don't give my phone number to people. I'm like, well, I don't want you to call me. Don't text me. I can't even see the text. Let me get home. Email me or something. But my phone rings, and I know I'm not supposed to do it, and I'm like, oh, it must be my wife. I've been at school. I've stayed too late. She's wondering where I am. Dinner's ready. What's going on? We think you're dead on the highway. What's going on? So I pull over and I answer the phone, and I say, and I start off with, hey, honey, and the voice on the phone's, Dr. Turner. He said, oh, that's not my wife.
Yeah.
sorry there. And so, and then the woman starts talking, you know me, and you know my son Eddie? And I'm saying, I really don't. I'm trying to think if I know him. And then she starts to cry. She says, Eddie's in the 2nd grade. We filled out an application for your literacy center, but Eddie didn't make it. He wasn't selected. And I said, I'm sorry about that. I'll try to get him in the next semester. Maybe we can work it out. And she said, no, I wanted to talk to you. And I said, well, you can talk to me. And, all right. And so she proceeds to tell me about it. She says, I'm a good mom. I knew what I was supposed to do. I've been reading to Eddie since even before he was born. She said, chicka boom boom, you know what I did? She said, yeah, I got it, The true story of the 3 little pigs. Eddie liked that one. And she started going through a bunch of books, and she said, it was always good in the kindergarten. And it was really sweet in the 1st grade. Until the end of the 1st grade, then we decided that kids would be taking the DRA. And then the DRA determined that Eddie was not on grade level. So it was end of the year. His mother was told that's how she filled out an application for our literacy center. She was hoping to get in, and we just didn't have the room. But in the fall, Eddie comes back to school, and something shifts. She says, Dr. Turner, Eddie hates reading. He hates it. It used to be our favorite part of the day. In Christ. And I said, you focus on the positive. And then she said, I'm calling you. It's also, and something happened this week that broke Eddie's heart. And I said, well, what happened? And she said, well, in our school, I didn't even know it was there. But we had these things, we had these data walls, and Eddie was in school and had to go to the bathroom, and he asked his teacher, 2nd grade teacher, can he go to the bathroom? And she said, well, not alone. And she said, I'll send you with someone else. And I think the other boy's name was Lewis, and she said, Lewis and Eddie are like peanut butter and jelly, they're the best of friends. And so she said, Eddie was all excited. They went to the bathroom and they passed by a room. This is where the teachers have the conference, the administrators, and some parent meetings are going on. And the kids are never supposed to go in there. Did you know little boys, 2nd grade, wow. And they started looking at around there. And the interesting thing about this data wall, they did it in the concept of the 3 little pigs. There was the straw house, there was the house of sticks, and there was the house of bricks. And Lewis starts looking at them, and every child's name is in one of those houses. Then Lewis goes to Eddie, he says, Eddie, you're the stupidest kid ever. You're going to get left back. My God, Eddie. Well, he does what a lot of 2nd graders would do when they hear something like that. Next thing you know, Eddie is punching and swinging. He's kicking and fighting. There's a fight. There's 2 bloody boys, teachers running into the room. And here are these 2 friends in a fight. And so the school calls in Eddie's mother, and she says, I was called in, and I know my son, maybe if he has an anger problem, we'll work on it. It's never happened before, but I'm willing to talk about the anger problem, but I want to talk about the reading problem. And she said, Dr. Turner, they won't talk about the reading problem. And he's in that wall because of the reading problem. And if we can't talk about the reading problem, then you're going to have more problems with it. And that's the second grade. So when Nancy Carlson Page, Dr. Page says that the Common Core is inappropriate, and particularly when she looks at the assessments, those would be your SBAC assessments, PARCS, she's been looking at them all, and the Defending Early Years staff and people involved in that project, and you can go online, DEY, project.org. And there you'll find all kinds of resources and information. They even have an activist page, a toolkit for activists, for parents to fight back. But we think about that concept. So the second grade, is this the best we can do? Let's go to the next slide. So, concerns with students with special needs, because that was another group. I spend my life, if you struggle with reading, and you work with that population, nearly 80% of the children who struggle with reading have some kind of learning disability connected with them. And so we have to ask ourselves, does this one size, fit all standards and assessments, for special educators, the Common Core state standards and assessments are the ultimate indicators. Academic achievement goes against multiple sources, and these people are scam artists. The word assess is from the Latin, and it means this. It means I sit with. This is the best assessment money can buy. When you go to the gym and you want to exercise and stuff, is there anything better than a personal trainer? If you're struggling with literacy, you have a learning disability, it's like going to a doctor when you need to see a specialist. Do you go to a room with 100 people and somebody at the front of the room says, okay, everybody who has a pain, raise their hand. Everybody whose pain's on the left side, jump up and down. Everybody who has a pain on the right side, sit down. That's not the best. What I'm saying is $10 trillion. What we've got is a paper scam over here. About 20% of what we've allocated has been going to producing new assessments and new standards. That was part of NCOB's legislation. What happened when Arnie Duncan came in? He said, I can't tap into 20% because Rod Page and Spelling and Bush, they created rigorous standards for 50 states. They created assessments. They told the states they had to get rigorous tests for all the states. That's all done. How will I get any of this money? What will we do? Race to the top. We need a new curriculum framework. Common Core scheme. Yeah. New assessments. Let's go to the next slide.